Most people think of inflation as something that affects groceries, gas, and maybe the cost of a night out. But when you're approaching or living in retirement, inflation takes on a whole new meaning. Even modest inflation, say 3%, can quietly erode your purchasing power over time. And when you're no longer earning a paycheck, every dollar needs to stretch further. Here's the reality. If you retire at 65 and live into your mid-80s, you could see the cost of living double during your retirement. That means the $80,000 lifestyle you enjoy today might cost $160,000 or more 2 decades from now. This isn't about fear, it's about preparation. In this video, I'll walk you through what inflation really does to your retirement savings, the key risks most retirees overlook, and most importantly, how to design a plan that helps you stay ahead of rising costs. Because after all the years you've spent building your wealth, you deserve to protect it and enjoy the life you've worked so hard for. Hi, I'm Levi Palomo, certified financial planner and financial planner here at Pillar Financial Advisors. On this channel, I share clear, practical strategies to help you work towards reducing taxes, preserving wealth, and retiring on your terms. If that sounds helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment below with any questions that you may have. Today, let's talk about one of the biggest retirement challenges and how to build a strategy that helps you stay ahead. Inflation's silent impact on retirees. Inflation is often called the silent thief, and for good reason. When you're working, your income often grows to keep pace with rising costs through raises, promotions, or even business growth. But in retirement, you're drawing from a fixed pool of resources. And unless your assets are structured to grow with inflation, rising prices can gradually chip away at your standard of living. Here's an example. Let's say you retire with $2 million at the age of 65 and plan to withdraw $80,000 per year to support your lifestyle. At 3% annual inflation, that same $80,000 lifestyle will cost $107,000 in 10 years and $144,000 in 20 years. If your investments aren't keeping pace, you're forced to do one of 3 things: spend less, take more out of your portfolio, which you run the risk of running out early, or both. This is why retirees often say, "I feel like my money isn't going as far as it used to." If left unaddressed, inflation doesn't just erode your purchasing power, it can jeopardize the longevity of your retirement plan. The second point is why retirees feel inflation more acutely. You might be wondering, but isn't inflation low right now? Even when inflation hovers at 2 to 3%, retirees often feel its effects more than younger families. Here's why. Healthcare costs are rising faster than general inflation. As you age, a larger portion of your budget goes towards medical care, and these costs often outpace inflation by 2 to 3% annually. You're spending more on essentials. Unlike younger people who spend heavily on housing or discretionary items, retirees often allocate more to food, utilities, and healthcare, categories where price increases tend to stick. Fixed income doesn't adjust automatically. Social Security has high cost of living adjustments, and pensions and annuities often don't. If you're relying heavily on bonds or cash savings, your income may struggle to keep up. Think of inflation like a slow leak in a tire. You don't notice it at first, but over time it can cause real problems. The key is to plan for it now, not react to it later. Strategies to help protect your retirement from inflation. So how do you build a retirement plan that accounts for inflation? Keep a portion of your portfolio invested for growth. Many retirees instinctively shift heavily into bonds and cash as they approach retirement. While it's natural to want stability, going too conservative can leave your portfolio vulnerable to inflation. Equities or stock-based investments offer growth potential that historically outpaces inflation. A well-diversified portfolio that balances growth and stability can help provide the income you need today and the growth you'll need for tomorrow. Consider guaranteed income with inflation adjustments. If you're relying on fixed sources of income like a pension or annuity, check if they have inflation adjustments. If not, you might explore strategies to create your own inflation hedge, such as staggering bond purchases over time to take advantage of rising rates, using part of your portfolio to cover essential expenses, and leaving the rest invested for long-term growth. Plan for healthcare inflation separately. Healthcare is often one of the largest expenses in retirement, and it's growing faster than general inflation. A few strategies to consider may be setting aside a dedicated healthcare reserve in your plan, or considering long-term care insurance or hybrid policies. Finally, factor in Medicare premiums and out-of-pocket costs that increase over time. By addressing healthcare inflation head-on, you reduce the risk of having to dip into other savings unexpectedly. Avoiding common mistakes with inflation planning. Too often, retirees underestimate inflation because it's not immediately visible. Here are a few pitfalls to avoid. Assuming your expenses will stay flat. While some costs like mortgages may go down, others like healthcare, property taxes, and insurance often increase. Not updating your plan. Inflation isn't static, and your retirement plan shouldn't be either. Regular reviews are key, focusing only on the short term. For the first few years of retirement, they might feel comfortable, but planning for 20 or 30 years is critical. The good news, with the right strategy, you can build in flexibility to adjust as costs rise. Here's the takeaway. Inflation may be the silent thief, but it doesn't have to steal your retirement. With thoughtful planning, you can help your portfolio keep pace, protect your lifestyle, and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing your wealth is built to last. If you're approaching retirement and want to create a strategy that accounts for inflation, market risk, and taxes, let's talk. Click the link in the description below to schedule a conversation. You've worked hard to build your wealth. Now it's time to make sure it supports the life you've envisioned.